promised a video about how to get your credit on $1 million. I'm like credit queening right now. You can be too, or credit kinging, whatever. But it's not no get rich quick scheme involved with getting your credit up. I don't, if it is, then why everybody don't got great, excellent credit? You know what I'm saying? So there are ways that you can get your score to rise up significant amounts, like real quick. But as far as overall general going from, I don't know, a 350 or 500 credit score to an 800 or above is not going to happen in overnight or in the course of 2 months. Now, if you can understand that, it's not no lollipops and fairy tales over here. I'm going to just give you real tips and tricks or whatever. Just a few little things or whatever. I'm going to create a little ebook on the website that you can get for a donation of $10. So that'll go more in depth on just every little thing that you may need to learn that they don't teach you in school. Your parents didn't teach you because they didn't know. Shit. If you came from the hood, or if you underprivileged in some type of capacity, like you black in America or whatever, you probably didn't get this education and don't have these skills or whatever as far as getting your credit together and getting your finances in order, budgeting, prioritizing, and all that kind of stuff. So I posted my credit score a few months back, and it was a 7 something. And I said the same thing. If anybody wanted any tips or whatever, everybody be like, yeah, I want tips. And then when I told everybody, like, oh, well, the first thing you gotta do is stop spending all your goddamn money on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody basically was just like, oh, nah, fuck that. You might as well kill me if I can't go shopping and all that. And I ain't saying you gotta be penny pinching and money miser. What I am saying is that, you gotta get your shit together. Get your motherfucking life. You out here spending just to be spending, shopping just to be shopping because you got the money. Now, just because you have money don't mean you can afford something. So the goal of having good credit is not to just be out here able to buy a bunch of bullshit with all these credit cards you can get. Because then you gonna end up with bad credit again and be right back where you started, which is at the bottom. So the point is, if you want to get your credit in order, the purpose of having great credit is so that when you want to invest, you don't have the cash per se, so that you can get to a position of wealth. Then you have the credit to be able to borrow the money for investments that'll propel you into a financial future of independence, not to borrow money on credit for bags and shoes and nails and lashes and weaves and even luxury vehicles, whatever. Like, that's not. I mean, that's what you could do. You could do that, which is also fine. And then you're gonna be just where you at, which is nowhere. If you watching this video and you trying to figure out some tips on how to get your credit to fuck better, so that's all I can say about that. So, a couple of tips I'm going to give you other than, you can't be out here shopping willy-nilly and all of that. Depending on where you are in your credit, if you have good enough credit, I would say a 650, you probably can get a credit card that earns rewards in some capacity. Now, if your credit is not that high, you can still probably get rewards cards, but you wouldn't have to pay an annual fee. It's usually something like $99 or whatever the case may be. But with rewards cards, if you want to try to get one that has the highest percentage of rewards, you earn in cash back for using the card. So, if you're getting 1%, for every $100, you're going to get $1 back, that you spend or whatever. So once you amass a few $1,000s worth, you may, and if you don't keep spending it, the rewards cash and adding it to your balance or whatever, that's like a vacation. That's like a free airfare. That's like a free trip. I ain't saying you going on a trip around the world or whatever, but I'm just saying, and it depends on how long you save it. So you get into an accident, you need a deductible, whatever, you got that rewards money, you use your credit card, you can just pay with that, or whatever, get in the gym, got this rewards money, so they're going to pay you to use the card. And if you pay your balance off every month, you're not actually paying interest, so they're just paying you to use the card. Okay, so the idea you want to do is only use your credit cards for bills that you was already going to have to pay, like your normal everyday living expenses that you normally had to use your paycheck for out of your checking account, like with your bill pay or your checkbook, however take care of your bills every month. So rent, electric, water bill, cable, Wi-Fi, car insurance, gas, things like that, and earn your reward. So you will earn a minimum 1% back, right? So if you got a good one, you could earn 3% back. Sometimes they change every month. I don't like those because I'm not keeping track of all that shit. I want to earn my max. So I like the card that's going to just offer me 3% on everything, or 2%, whatever the most I can get. And then I use that for my normal everyday shit. Okay, or at least shit I know I'm going to be able to pay right now in that same month because I already had to pay it anyway. What was it going to do? Had the lights get turned off up in this motherfucker? Hell no. So you're going to have to pay the electric bill. So instead of paying it out your checking account, pay it with your credit card. Then go ahead and pay the credit card right away out of your checking account. But that way you earning the rewards. So then by the end of it ain't gonna take long. You spending thousands of dollars every month. Like your whole entire life is bills. So your whole paycheck. I'm talking about 3/4 or probably 6 or 7/8 of your fucking paycheck is going to bills. If you use your credit card that's earning 2% back, you see what I'm saying? You gonna get a little couple dollars. At the end of the year, you could earn a few $1,000s doing that. Whatever your oldest credit card is, you want to keep that credit card forever. Don't get in the bad standing with it. Don't let it go idle for too long so they just cancel it automatically. Use it every now and again. I don't care if you just use it to fill up your tank of gas or whatever and then pay it whatever. And then don't use it again for 6 months. It don't matter. Your oldest credit card, because the length of credit, the time of the credit history is a big factor in determining your credit worthiness as well, because they want to see how long you've been paying all your bills lately. Well, what the fuck is lately? The last 6 months or year? You get into a jam, if you was acting crazy before, they want to know that. So they looking back. So they want to know your oldest credit card is older. It's gonna say 15 years, but obviously if you're not that old, what did I have a credit card when I was 15? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you only 20, obviously you won't handle 15-year credit history. So don't worry about that if you're not of an age where that would be relevant. But the point is, try to keep your credit card, that's the oldest credit card you have, always maintain that credit card, okay? Another thing you can do is if you have a credit card or a loan, you just have a small balance on. Let's just say you have several credit cards, but one of them you only owe, $200 on or whatever, but you paying all the minimums on all your credit cards or whatever because that's what you can afford right now. Take a few extra dollars. I don't care. Rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I mean? If you got to put a little less, go on budget billing on your electric bill. That's another tip that's not really having to do with credit because it don't affect your credit or anything. Anybody can go on budget billing on their electric bill, at least with Pico in Philadelphia. Whether if you're a millionaire, if you got two pennies to rub together or don't, you can get on budget billing. So Rob Peter to pay Paul, get on budget billing so you ain't got to send them the whole amount this month or whatever, and pay off one of them credit cards, pay off one of them loans all the way to nothing. That is actually going to boost your credit quite significantly, quite a few points, depending on where your credit is. It can really boost your credit 15 to 20 points just like that. Literally, just by paying off one of the credit cards entirely will boost your credit, and it depends on how much you owe on that and how much of your credit that card was using. Percentage of credit that you're using based on how much credit you have available to you to use is going to be very significant on your credit worthiness as well. Car loans and like mortgages don't count. It's only really like personal lines of credit or credit cards that count towards how much credit you have available to you. Not to say that you couldn't go out and get another credit card, but what could you get your hands on today if you had to, is what they're kind of looking at. So if you got $10,000 worth of credit, you're using half of that. So $5,000 is actually you owe, and $5,000 is available. That's still available to use. You're using 50% of your credit. That's extremely high. That looks very bad on your credit. So that's going to decrease your credit score significantly. If you turn around and pay one of those credit cards off, and one of the credit cards was 70% of your debt, that's going to raise your credit score significantly, because now it's like, damn, you only using 20% of your credit, which is a major drop from 70%. And so you want to stay within a certain range, and you can go on Credit Karma and find out whatever that is, or you can get the newsletter that I'm going to put together that'll be available next Friday on the website that I mentioned earlier in the video. So basically, you want to stay under a certain percentage of credit being utilized, that compared to what you have available to you to use as well. And the last thing I would say as far as a tip, if you have anything on your credit that's older than 7 years, it is supposed to automatically come off, but oftentimes it does not. And then also these creditors will be think they slick, and what they'll do is they will re-enter the debt. Like they'll add something new to the account or whatever, but the way they'll enter it, it'll basically kind of like update and change the date of the debt to make it look like it's a new debt instead of an old debt that's older than 7 years. And that's how they can try to keep something on your credit to continue to try to pursue you for it. Especially if you do start getting your credit together and you do owe people from years ago. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. These people gonna start coming out the woodwork. So telephone service bills that you had from your first apartment when you was 17 and a half years old or some dumb shit like that for $69.13. They'll be calling you, child, when you're 37. Talking about how would you like to take care of that? And I'll give you my never Neverland visa. What? So let me tell you something. Beware. And if you want to feel like the good guy, you can go ahead and pay this shit. But it's not going to look better on your credit or affect your credit in anything. It's not going to do anything for you whatsoever. It's not even going to make you feel better. It's just going to make you feel broker. So if the shit is that old, don't pay it. And I don't know if that's being a decent person or not. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is I'm not a perfect person. But I'm telling you, and what I'm saying to you is if shit is older than 7 years and you ain't got money like that in the first place, that's why your credit jacked up now and you can't figure out how to pay the shit. And that's okay. But what I'm telling you is don't be trying to figure out how to pay no old shit older than that. Because you ain't got to. It ain't going if you do pay it, it ain't going to make your credit better. If you don't pay it, it ain't going to make your credit worse. And that's what I'm saying. Just forget about it. But in order to get the things off of your credit that are older than 7 years, that have been left on there from slick companies like that, like old like car notes, like big banks, they know they shit, so they know what to do to try to keep it on your credit. You want to just go ahead and reach out to the credit bureaus and dispute anything on your credit that's old or that's incorrect. Whether it's an address that didn't belong to you or whatever. You may think that's not a big deal, but if it's somebody out there masquerading as you and they got some of your information and some of that or whatever, and they taking out, you don't want to be affiliated with addresses or phone numbers or whatever that didn't belong to you. So you can go ahead and update some of that stuff without any problem whatsoever. You feel as though something is not being reported correctly or fairly. Let's just say you made 2 extra payments than what they're reporting. You can, and you have to have proof and evidence to that. If you have your receipt, confirmation number, whatever, you can submit that to them. And you can also dispute anything that's old. You can say this is older than 7 years and they're trying to put it back on my credit like it's a new account and this is old and whatever. And they'll go ahead and remove it for you. It's free. It don't cost you nothing but due diligence and a little bit of brain. You ain't not that much brain. I just told you what to do. You can Google the people's the credit bureau's websites and all that kind of stuff. And if you want the full information written out for you and just you ain't got to Google nothing, you can go ahead and get the newsletter off of the website for the donation of $10. If you choose to do that. Otherwise, I just gave you some basic tips that to get you started, that you should be able to take it from there. If you want to do the research for yourself further, you kind of know where to start and where to go, and some tips on how to kind of start getting out of that hole. Otherwise, the newsletter is very good. It's a small donation. It's $10. The newsletter is called The Credit Issue. Look for that in the postings for next Frugal Fridays, so that you can get your hands on it. So anyway, for now, start doing the tips that I gave you, and be decent to yourself, then be decent to everybody else. Bye.